Okay, I see the chat's already fired up. You guys are talking about Cardi B. I had a feeling if I made that the center of the thumbnail, then that would be the main thing that you guys would think I'd be talking about. Honestly, what I'm going to say is probably not even what you guys think. Like, I could care less about the Grammy performance. I mean, not the Grammy performance. That's obviously bad, but the lawsuit thing, I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But welcome to another live stream, guys. I don't think I'm gonna have a guest on this week. I just need a little break from trying to like find somebody. I got some other stuff that I'm working on, so I don't have a guest in mind this week, but I got some ideas for next week, so I'll reach out to them and hopefully I'll be able to get some more, I don't want to say high profile people on, but people that you may have heard of already. It's cool to introduce you to new people you haven't met yet, but I want to get in some like bigger names, some more prominent names. So that's obviously a little harder to do as far as getting in touch with them and coordinating it because they're busy too. They're making content like me. But thanks to everybody that's tuning in today on this Wednesday afternoon or morning. If you're on the West Coast, it's still morning over there. Happy hump day. Let me give some shout outs to people. And then also, like we did last week, we're going to go over the gas prices again. I'm just curious what the gas prices are in your area. So give me your gas price, but also put the state that you're from too, because that's what I forgot last week is to tell you to put in the state that you're from. Right now in Florida, we're still sitting at 285, at least at the closest gas station to me is 285. Oh, it looked like it was freezing up. Am I having internet issues too? Also, let me know if that's the case too, because I did unplug my Ethernet cable. Let me just check something real quick. Hang on. When I move my laptop sometimes, I don't want to be connected to Wi-Fi. I want to be connected to Ethernet. And I think I am. Just let me know if the connection's not good or not. Or just let me know. DA says, make sure to get some rest, Mike. We'll get started here in a second. I'm just curious what the gas prices are in your area. So tell me the gas price and then the state that you're from. Like I said, 285 here in Florida. That's probably on the lower end here for Florida. 269 somewhere in Bushnell. I don't know where that is. Bushnell, Washington. Oh, of course, that's going to be high. It has cracked $3 a gallon in, I think, 9 states, and that's since last week. So it's not looking good. It's on the way up. It's all bad all around. But hopefully those stimmy checks, if you got your stimmy check, you can, put aside some for a rainy day, but then also fill up your tank. I am not filling up my tank. I'm just going to do enough for the trips that I'm going on just because I get 15 cents off, but I would rather not fill up my tank when I don't drive nearly as much as I used to. Anyway, comments are coming in. Finally, a little slower today. North Myrtle Beach, 269, 290 in Central Florida. Okay. Yeah, see, for diesel, 290 for diesel. I don't really know the price of diesel normally, but I do think it's higher than regular. 265 in North Carolina. Okay, so it doesn't look like it's gone up much from last week, but we won't spend too much time on that. I was just curious what everyone's gas prices are. And also, I want to say this too. If you're not watching this live, if you're watching this later after it's been uploaded, you don't have to put your gas price in the comments. I mean, it's helpful, but like sometimes when something's going on, if I'm like, hey guys, I'm testing out the sound, put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me, or 2 if you need me to turn it up. People will rewatch the live stream and then leave a comment saying 1 or 2. But at that point, obviously the stream's over. So just so you guys know, for those of you that are watching the after stream, if you're watching the upload of it, you don't need to comment 1 or 2. You can put the gas price if you want, but just know you're not watching it live. Anyway, let's get started. Okay, so we'll talk about Candace Owens versus Cardi B in a different light. Like the lawsuit thing, Candace Owens is suing, if you don't know about the story. And honestly, I only knew about it because I saw it on Twitter. I typically don't get into gossip and things like that, but I saw it trending on Twitter. So I read through their thread. They've been going back and forth over Cardi B's Grammy performance. And then she went below the belt by saying something about Candace Owens' husband cheating with her brother and some other weird stuff. So Candace was like, all right, I'm going to sue you for defamation because Cardi B apparently used a fake tweet where Candace Owens admitted to that and, you know, brought her family into it. Just like low stuff. Like, as a response to Candace, of course, criticizing her cringe Grammy performance, which, I mean, maybe I'm just old fashioned. I don't know. I used to be into hip hop a lot more, and I probably would look past that kind of performance. But I mean, on the Grammys, come on. Come on. I watched it. I only watched the performance just to see what all the hoopla was about, because people were talking about how bad it was. And I knew it was going to be bad because, I mean, she performed the song WAP. We know what the song WAP is. Even if you don't listen to hip hop, you heard about it. It got Song of the Year. It came out during quarantine when we're supposed to be socially distanced. And then she's talking about her wet private parts. I mean, you know. So anyway, the performance was bad. It's a bad look. And call me old fashioned, but I tend to have more respect for a woman that has respect for herself. And that goes for anybody, not just women, men too. You're more likely to get respect from people if you respect yourself. And this whole new wave of like degeneracy and, I don't know, just ignorance repackaged as women's empowerment, that's Cardi B in a nutshell. I mean, she represents everything that the modern left stands for. The culture of the modern left is shifting more away from God, more towards degeneracy, ignorance, and just, it's bad. But anyway, Candace Owens criticized her, rightfully saying, you know, you got a lot of black and brown girls that look up to you. And if they see that you are thrusting your vajayjay on camera and on a Grammy stage at that, it's not just some rap video where you got to seek it out. It's like, this is the Grammys, which I know a lot of people don't watch anymore, but this is part of the reason why. You have a big audience. I mean, the Grammys used to be pretty well respected before it got super woke and got way into politics. You're on stage doing this, and it's not a good look. It's just bad. And you, on top of that, you represent a big part of culture. So all you really are is a vessel for the failed policies that black and brown people continue to vote for. And I said that because Cardi B did get into politics she endorsed Bernie Sanders. She's like, Bernie's good, he's the man or whatever. But then when Joe Biden was the nominee officially, he gave his first public interview to Cardi B. That's bad. That's really bad. Why wouldn't you if you're going to interview somebody? I mean, obviously there's people with, you know, left-wing ideology that you could have interviewed, or you could have interviewed with. You could have went on he went on the Breakfast Club. He could have went and talked to somebody else, but then also he could have talked to Candace Owens. He could have talked to somebody with a different perspective. He didn't just have to go to Cardi B, but the reason why is because Cardi B has the kind of following that I'm just going to say it, that isn't really all that intelligent. I'm not saying everybody. I'm not saying everybody who listens to that is unintelligent. I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying there's a lot of ignorance that supports her. Cardi B herself isn't the brightest crayon in the box. I'm just saying it because it's true. I'm not saying it to be mean. I'm saying it because it's true. And you can see it in her tweets, like the grammatical errors and all that stuff, just the way she talks, the way she carries herself. I'm just saying. Democrats know their voters, which is why they use ignorant rappers to promote their message, which is why ignorant rappers will only talk to a conservative, or a liberal candidate, but they won't talk to a conservative. And then a Democrat that's running for office would never go and talk to somebody like Candace Owens, talk to somebody like me. Somebody's going to press them with questions that are going to be challenging about what they're going to do. So I just think it represents, the Candace Owens Cardi B thing represents a cultural divide maybe not just in the Black community. I think it's actually an American issue because, like I said, this new age progressive ideology, the modern day left, supports all this. It's women's empowerment. Men could do it too. So why can't women grind each other's crotches on the Grammy stage? What's the big deal if men can do it? It's such a stupid argument. I don't even want to get into it, but that's where we are as a country right now, is a battle of ideas. One side gets suppressed, one side gets promoted, one side gets slandered. The other side can be completely hypocritical, and it's totally fine. Cardi B said something about Candace Owens' brother and her husband sleeping together, and the way that she worded it made it sound like she was homophobic, which again, the left claims to care about we love everybody, but they won't crack down on Cardi B when she says something like that. I'm just saying. Super chat from Beefy McWhat Now says $2.95 per gallon here, Mike. Oh, did you just send that? I don't know. Maybe I'm okay. I'm way up in the chat. Okay, appreciate you for the super chat. $2.95 where you live. Thank you. Thank your God, Sleepy Joe, for that. Ridiculous that zombie is considered our leader. Charles, thank you, man. You're a consistent super chatter. Thank you, man. Charles says, not only do I refuse to watch the Grammys and other award shows, the same goes for all pro sports. The cultural Marxists have corrupted all of these. You are so spot on. That's what I mean. Like culture. It is culture that is upstream from politics. And culture has bled, or, the ideology of Marxism has bled into every aspect of our culture completely. Sports, all sports, NASCAR, NFL, NHL, NBA, commercials, Oreo cookies tweets about it. Like, you can't do anything without hearing the leftist perspective. That's just the way it is. I know people on the left like to deny this or pretend like, well, it's progress, it's change. It's so just narcissistic. It's like what we believe is the correct thing to believe. And if you disagree, we got all these names to call you. That's pretty much where we are. It's not an open debate. It's not a civil dialogue. It's not healthy or productive. It's here are the approved beliefs and opinions. You either agree with them or you're a racist, sexist, xenophobe, homophobe, neo-Nazi, white supremacist. They got all the names for it. Uncle Tom, coon, sellout, right? That's what I'll get called. When I was in New York, coincidentally, when I was at the RSBN thing, the white BLM guy called me a black Klansman, singled me out because of the color of my skin. I'm just sitting there reporting on the flag drop thing, and this white guy starts shouting. Actually, he was Antifa. He had a 666 on his jacket too, that's interesting. He started shouting to me that I'm a black Klansman, right? That's where we are. It's like your ideas are different, so we're gonna name call and slander. We're gonna assassinate your character. That's what's happening, but it's happening in the blue check mark realm, and I think that is important that people with blue check marks, and I just say blue check marks because that emphasizes that they have reached some level of status, whether that be their reach of audience or they're in the media, they're a public figure. So Candace Owens is one of those people, and she spits venom. She's fearless. She says it like it is. And this is what we need more of. We need more people who will say it like it is, tell the truth. Some people that will say what so many people are thinking. When you watch the Grammys, when you watch Cardi B grind her crotch into another woman on the stage, do you think to yourself, man, I want my daughter to grow up and be like that, or whatever? Do you think of that? Or do you think like this country's going to hell in a handbasket?